Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the blueprint for our future cities. It's ambitious, yeah, it's definitely complex, but it's happening all around us, right now. We are talking about the smart city. All right, let's kick things off with a number that's, well, it's huge. By the year 2050, the UN projects that a staggering 80% of us will be living in cities. Just wrap your head around that for a second. That's 8 out of every 10 people on the entire planet, all packed into urban areas. That's a pretty fundamental shift in how we live. And that number, it really begs a massive question. I mean, our cities are already feeling the pressure, right? They're kind of bursting at the seams with traffic, pollution, and all kinds of strain. So how on earth are they going to handle what's coming next? To really get a feel for this dilemma, we're not going to just talk theory. We need to see it on the ground. So let's head over to Ho Chi Minh City, a megacity that is living and breathing this exact challenge every single day and is actively searching for a solution. And wow, when you look at the numbers for Ho Chi Minh City, it really hits you. You've got this massive metro area. We're talking over 20 million people. And a staggering 75% of them get around on motorbikes. You can almost hear the traffic jam just from that statistic alone, right? And if that wasn't enough, it's also one of the world's most vulnerable cities when it comes to flooding and climate change. It's a true perfect storm of urban challenges. So here's the bottom line. The old way of doing things, it's just not going to cut it anymore. That old playbook for running a city, slow reactions, tons of paperwork, is just completely overwhelmed. The problems are simply growing way faster than the old solutions. This immense pressure is pushing cities all over the world to find a whole new model. And that new model is built around one central idea, the smart city. But what does that actually mean? Is it all just about robots and flying cars? Well, not exactly. It's really not about just throwing a bunch of shiny tech at problems and hoping for the best. A smart city, at its core, uses data from things like AI and the Internet of Things to make daily life better. The goal isn't just a smart city for the sake of it, it's a better city for the people who actually live there. It's all about being citizen-centric. Okay, but think about this for a second. If you're a city planner, how on earth do you test out a massive, expensive, and let's be honest, probably disruptive new idea? You can't just shut down a half the city to see if a new traffic plan works, right? Well, this is where a truly revolutionary technology steps in. The old way of innovating was kind of painful. It was slow, it was super expensive, and you could only try out a couple of ideas at a time, and most of them would fail anyway. The new vision, it completely flips that script. Instead of messing around in the real world, you take it to the virtual world, where you can test thousands of ideas all at once to find out what actually works before you spend a single dime on construction.
And the key that unlocks all of this is something called a digital twin. The easiest way to picture it, imagine a perfect, living video game version of your city. But it's not static. It's constantly being fed real-time data from sensors all over the place. So it becomes this living, breathing digital mirror where you can ask, what if, over and over again? What if we add a new subway line? What if a hurricane hits? You can simulate it all with zero real-world consequences.
So the whole process breaks down into this really elegant 3-step journey. First, you assess. You build that digital copy of how things are right now. Second, you iterate, and this is where the magic happens. You let AI run wild, simulating thousands of possible futures. And finally, you apply. You take the winning idea, the one that the data proves will work, and you deploy it in the real world. Assess, iterate, apply. It's a powerful cycle. And the results of this approach? They're just mind-blowing. We're talking about reducing the time it takes to find a successful idea by up to 90%. And the cost gets slashed by over 75%. It lets you test hundreds of ideas a year instead of just a few. It's a total game changer for how cities can evolve. Okay, so Ho Chi Minh City isn't going into this blind. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. They're actually looking at the cities that are already way down this road, the pioneers of the smart city world. So let's take a quick look at what some of the leaders are doing right. First up, Singapore. If there's one big thing to learn from them, it's this. Have a single, unified plan. They did the hard work first.
They built the foundational digital stuff, like a national digital ID for everyone. Then, once that was in place, they could easily layer on super useful apps for citizens. It's just a masterclass in long-term thinking and political will.
And what about Hong Kong? Their lesson is all about being laser-focused on results. They aren't just collecting data for fun, they're using it to solve real, everyday problems. A fantastic example is their AI adaptive traffic lights. They put them in, and boom, peak hour traffic delays dropped by almost 20%. That's a specific, measurable improvement you can actually feel. All right, so with those lessons from the global leaders in mind, let's circle back. How is Ho Chi Minh City taking all this inspiration and forging its own unique path forward? This quote right here from their official strategy really says it all. You see that? It's all about the data, creating shared databases and an open data ecosystem. This isn't just tech jargon. It's the bedrock for everything they want to achieve, from efficiency to a government that really serves its people. And they're not just talking a big game. They have a clear step-by-step roadmap to get there. Phase 1, happening right now, is all about building that foundation and piloting the tech. Phase 2 is about taking what works and scaling it up across the whole city. And by Phase 3, the ultimate goal is to become a true leader and innovation hub for the entire region. And these aren't just vague hopes either. Look at these targets. They want to jump public transport use from a tiny 4% to 15% by 2027. That's a huge leap. And check out the digital economy goal, from around 18% to 40% of their city's GDP. This is a massive, multi-billion-dollar bet on the future. So how are they going to pull this off? Well, their whole strategy rests on these 4 pillars. Think of it like this. You need a place to store the data, a place to analyze it, a place to simulate the future, and of course, a way to keep it all secure. This is the engine room that's going to power their entire smart city plan. Okay, so we've talked about the tech, the data, the billions of dollars. But after all of that, what's the point? What's the ultimate vision here? When you put all these pieces together, what does success truly look like? Because at the end of the day, the goal of all this isn't just about efficiency. It's about creating a city that's actually better to live in, more sustainable, more resilient, and more livable for everyone. Because here's the thing we have to remember. All this incredible technology, the digital twins, the AI, the sensors, it's all just a tool. Which brings us to our final and most important thought. Cities are made of data and infrastructure, yes, but its future will always be built by and for its people.